Welcome everyone to another episode of the Futlife Tv Podcast. Thank you for joining us again. And we have Shireen again on the show.
What's up? And
we're going to get into a lot of stuff today, including the big news. The biggest news today was Zinedine Zidane, a.k.a. Zizou, is no longer Real Madrid's manager. Wow. He called an emergency press conference today and came out and announced that he is leaving and will no longer be there.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
That is, it's a bit gut wrenching. Because in his 2.5 years, they won like 9 trophies. 9 trophies. And 2 or 3 of them were Champions League.
Back to back.
Back to back. But it's like, on one side, you can think to yourself, what a better way to end it.
True.
Is like ending on a high note.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, you kind of think to yourself, well, everything seemed to be working. Sure, La Liga didn't go so well. Copa del Rey wasn't so well. But we've won those things in his 2.5 years there.
Yeah.
Winning the Champions League was always like our big, main objective.
Absolutely. Every team's really. I mean, there's no other team that can say they've accomplished what Real Madrid have accomplished in the Champions League. Or Zinedine Zidane, period, himself just,
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing, I think. And, the thing what you're saying is exactly what he was saying as well. What he was saying was his reason was that he thought that they need a new voice, a new manager, a new strategy, that he didn't think he could do the same thing next season, that he thought that this was already enough and a lot, and he does not think that they will win the Champions League next season. So basically, he's like, I love this club, and if I feel like I'm not going to be able to do it for them next season, then I want someone else to bring it.
Yeah.
So that was his reasoning for it. But the Spanish papers, they all go crazy all the time. They jumped to conclusions. They jumped out, made stories about that him and the president, Perez, basically had a little back and forth. And Perez wants him to basically make Gareth Bale the star man because of his good form lately and his Champions League, heroics. But he wants him to be the star man, basically, and wants him to start the games, be the big man, and wants him to slowly push out Ronaldo. That's what the newspapers and the Spanish newspapers have been saying. But that's
speculation.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
And Zidane, by the way, before I cut you off, sorry,
You're good.
Zidane has rather leave than do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, I think one of the things that I think Zidane was realizing was he was starting to lose his grip on like the keeping the players together. I mean, if you notice this past season, Isco came out and after like one of his like great games with Spain, he came out in one of the press conferences and said, well, I'm glad that, I'm just really happy playing for Spain because I have the confidence of my coach. I don't feel the same way, at Real Madrid. And so he kind of called Zidane out there a little bit.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of players have.
Yeah.
A lot of players have. Even Cristiano at times. Cristiano's been upset with him. Bale's been upset with him. Isco's been upset with him. I'm sure other young players have been upset with him. And I mean, look at James, one of the best players in the world, you could say, and he just left. He didn't want to take it anymore. You know?
Morata
as well. Morata has had enough with him. I mean, the thing is, I think that he was losing grip in the locker room.
Yeah.
I think he was starting to lose a little bit of respect from players. I think it was going to cause a big upset, and a lot of players did want to leave. And this summertime, World Cup time, this is where people come and buy the most, is right after a World Cup.
This is a good showcase tournament.
Exactly. So imagine if Isco and those players, and Bale even with Wales, has a few good games, and boom, some big teams are going to come after him, pay big money, and take him. And there goes Real's best players, really.
Yeah. Well, like, what's gonna be good for for Bale because I don't believe Wales didn't make it, right?
No, but they're doing friendlies. But
Yeah.
You can still see. I'm sure they still have like 1 or 2 more friendlies that he's gonna be a part of. I think he missed the first one because of the Champions League, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he will get a couple more chances if I'm not mistaken.
For sure. Yeah, I think so. But the point I was gonna just make is he's gonna have this summer to just kind of like relax and just kind of feel out his options, because I think one of the other reasons why Zidane announced this so early is because I think given what Ronaldo said, right after the Champions League.
Bale said the same thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think those kind of things were kind of pushed him to think, okay, I better make this decision soon. Because I don't want like there to be like a collapse, because these are still big guys. Even though Ronaldo's 33, he's still got a lot of goals in there. Was a really key figure this season. Yeah. But so I think Zidane announced this just so these guys can be like, oh, well, wasn't expecting that. I think Zidane, the only person he told in the team, like personally, was Ramos. He talked to Ramos, about it. But other than that, like I think he sent like a message to the players, like as like a group chat or something like that before he actually officially went up there. So this will give them something to think about. Like, oh, Zidane left. Well, like let's see who the new coach is going to be, and like maybe talk to the new coach and be like, hey, coach, what's your plan for me? I didn't play a lot last season, and then those will be those decisions. So I guess the next question is like, what are we thinking? Maybe potential coaches. Like, there's not a whole lot of options out there.
No, but
not Wenger. Not
Wenger is one of the top options actually for Real Madrid, and. It's kind of funny to say, but he might actually be their next coach. I know that Pochettino is one of the favorites. I know Klopp, they really want to get Klopp as well, but those guys have a contract that have a hefty price tag on them for a coach.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Real Madrid or any team is willing to pay, that much. Pochettino's, I believe, is about 20-something million.
For Tottenham's coach?
Yeah, right. Which is pretty unheard of for a coach, really.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, sorry, at Napoli was $7 million. And they were like, we'll take 3.5, but now they want the whole thing from Chelsea because they're trying to do a deal with them.
Yeah.
So, 7 million, 10 million is usually, top coaches like maybe Guardiola and those guys maybe might take 15 to 20 million to get them out of there.
Yeah.
But 20-something million for Pochettino, it's going to be tough to pay that.
Yeah.
Especially if you can get maybe Klopp for cheaper, which I doubt Klopp will leave. That's the thing. Honestly, the only person I really see going there is Wenger at the moment, man. I don't know who else would go. Pochettino might go, but it'll be tough.
If Wenger goes, he'd be gone like within the half part of the season. Because like, I mean, given the fact his history with Arsenal, like he had some good years earlier on, but given like the past decade or so, like that's not gonna be. I don't think that's gonna work out. The other person they talked about was Conte from Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. If Sarri takes his position, but I mean they're still battling out, negotiating with Napoli. What if Real Madrid steps in and pays $7 million for Sarri?
Oh, from
Napoli's
Napoli?
coach, yeah. Because Ancelotti's already replaced him, so he basically doesn't have a job. But they still don't want to sell him because they want that full price from him.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
what if they step in and get him instead?
The guy from Napoli?
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad go. I mean, Napoli is doing pretty decent, and I feel like with even like their small I mean, they have some quality players, but like just not enough to go really that far into the Champions League. But like thinking about like, okay, well with this coach with what he has at Napoli, he's able to get that far. Yeah. Think about it if he got into Real Madrid, with a crop of players like that. That could be a possibility. I don't think Conte would be a good fit because if you think like about Mourinho, they kind of have like a similar temper and egos and all that stuff.
Exactly.
And I just kind of feel like that's going to be a no. Yeah, that's not going to be a good fit.
And the thing is, Conte holds grudges as well. Man.
Yeah.
If something that he doesn't like, doesn't see. I mean, look at perfect example: Diego Costa, David Luiz. Now Morata. Just when something happens between players, he doesn't care anymore. He's like, go.
Yeah.
You're not in my plans, go. Diego Costa leaving hurt Chelsea a lot, but did he care? No, not at all. He wanted to make his point across because his ego, he's like that. And Pirlo and those guys said it. They're like, you don't want to lose games and go into the dressing room with Conte. He goes crazy. Which, I mean, that's what makes him a great coach as well, having that much passion for the game, But it is a problem when you have that much ego in one dressing room because the players at Real Madrid have huge egos as well. Ramos and Ronaldo being the two main guys with the big egos, And if you piss off those players, then what else?
I mean, that could be if Conte comes in, that could push Ronaldo out. Like that could push Ronaldo out, and maybe bring maybe someone like I don't know if Neymar would come.
Well, that's what I thought too. I thought maybe because I don't know. I really don't see anyone paying that much for Ronaldo. You know, because I'm sure they're going to demand over 100 million. You know, Ronaldo's a huge name.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's 33, and judging by the final, it's probably not a good deal to. It's not a good idea to spend 100 million because that 100 million, a lot of the big teams that are gonna spend that much money, they're looking to build. You know, they're looking for the future. If they want to spend 100 million, they want some players that are gonna be there for years to come and to have a big impact. You know, unfortunately, Ronaldo will not do that. And that's the reason why I think that they're going to end up doing a trade deal with Neymar and Ronaldo.
Okay.
PSG and Real Madrid. I think maybe Real Madrid will offer him Ronaldo plus cash for Neymar eventually. And I think it'll probably happen next summer.
Oh, so you think he'll stay one more season?
I think he'll stay one more season.
Okay.
I don't think United is going to really pay that much for him to bring him there, you know? And United's got forwards coming out of their ass at the moment. So United really needs to spend money on defense, you know, on places where they're struggling the most, you know, not bringing in more forwards. They have enough forwards. They have some speed guys. They have Sanchez. They have Martial. They have Lukaku. They have Rashford. They have Lingard that can help push up, you know. There's plenty of options up there. Maybe bring in someone in the midfield. And definitely some defenders. You know, that's where your money should go. Not Ronaldo, who might give you half a good season next year. And let's not remember, this is the Premier League. Every week they're going to play, and they get no breaks either. There's no winter break and all that. So they're playing full on, and the Premier League is tough. You know, that's where guys usually get injured a lot more. And you know Ronaldo would be a target there. They're not going to take it easy on him. They're not going to take his little step overs or things like that. They're going to try to take him out. And that's why I worry that I don't think it would be a good idea for him to go. I think that he should probably push for that PSG move, you know, to get that trade. But I don't see that happening really this summer. I think PSG's with their new coach and everyone, I think that coach wants to use Neymar, mainly Neymar, this for their next season to try to get the Champions League. But I think if they don't get the Champions League, I think they will end up trying to do a trade deal with those two players.
For after next season.
Yep.
Okay.
For next summer.
Okay.
I'll be surprised if it happens this summer. It wouldn't be impossible. It could happen. I'll be a little surprised if it happens this summer. But what do you think?
I don't know. I think as far as like a potential swap deal, like given the fact that Neymar has only done one season with PSG, and given that Ronaldo kind of came back from his original statement and was like, oh, like I think he said something when he spoke to the crowd in celebration, he said something about like, oh, see you next season.
See you next year.
Yeah. So it's like given these two facts, I don't think there would be something happening this summer.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So could potentially be next summer. It would be fitting for Ronaldo because like the French league isn't that tough.
Well, that's the thing. He can get his break, you know, in the French league and still get his time and play. And I'm sure by next season, if they do sell Neymar and all, they're going to bring some reinforcement in. You know? They're going to spend some money, and Buffon's going there. Rumors are. So he's going there for 2 years. So he'll be there next year if Ronaldo does go. So they'll have a decent Champions League team, you know. And Ronaldo, given how much experience he has with the Champions League, winning it 5 times, which is amazing, is probably a good fit for PSG. Because I feel like Neymar couldn't do enough in the Champions League, especially against Real Madrid when he was needed the most. He just wasn't there. So I think Ronaldo, his experience in the Champions League, would help out in bigger games.
Yeah, for sure. That's true. But I think at 34 though, next year, I don't know if PSG will go for that. Maybe they might want Ronaldo and like Lucas Vazquez or Asensio or something like that.
Yeah, they might.
Like maybe instead of player and cash, maybe 2 players.
They might actually try to take. Why not? I mean,
I would do that if next season I would do like a Vazquez Ronaldo deal for Neymar. Like I think that would be worth it.
Yeah, or Asensio, take Asensio or Isco with it. That would be good.
I don't know. Asensio is just he's too good, man. He gets enough playing.
He's too Madrid.
He's too Madrid. He's a little too Madrid, and he's a little too good. Like, and he does a little more than what Vazquez does for Madrid.
I agree.
But these anything is up for grabs. Anything is is definitely possible. I mean, this news just happened about Zidane, this morning, and so it's like a whole. I mean, I'm sure like Bale and everybody's like kind of calling their agents like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting
hold
this.
The move.
Well, hold the move.
Hold the move.
Stop talking. Hold that note. Hold that note.
Tell Man United to wait.
Hold on a second. Yeah, let's talk about this. Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I mean, I'm sure this changes a lot. I really think it just changes a lot. But anyways, replacements. We said that Conte is a possibility. Pochettino, Klopp, and Wenger. Those are the top 4 guys the names are really coming out there the most. So
there's also, I read an article that had like potential people as well, and like those guys were on that list. Another person that was on the list was Guti, like one of their former
exactly
big guys, which would be interesting just because I'm not sure what his current background is. I think maybe he's part of like the Madrid reserve coaching staff or something like that. But if you think about it, that's how Zidane came up. Like he just kind of came up through that. He was like a reserve coach, and then he became Carlo Ancelotti's assistant, and then he became head coach. So I think it would. But so I would. Looking at how Zidane's came up, I think it would be odd to see Guti go straight from like a reserve coach to head coach, so soon. I think like Zidane, like during his time being an assistant with Ancelotti, I'm sure that helped out a lot. And as a matter of fact, that's when they won the Champions League the very first time of the 4 times that they won. And so he obviously, I'm sure he learned a lot, because as soon as he became coach, he won it 3 times, So so I don't know if Guti would happen, but I think that's a possibility that could be in there, just because like, okay, well, one of our former players who knows the club very well, comes in and does wonderfully.
And that's respect.
That could be a possibility. Definitely won't rule that out. There was another one, Solari as well. Solari he used to be an ex-player as well. I
don't think that he's gonna go though. I think Guti has a lot better chance than him.
Yeah.
I mean, those. I think any of those really could be a good replacement. I'm sure Real Madrid is going to try to spend some money again to maybe bring in some people that they think that might be able to help out. They want a new keeper. They really want Navas out, man. They really want him out, and the guy plays his ass off every game to try to earn the spot.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. Real want him out. But anyways, I don't know.
Yeah, that's really tough because I'm a big fan of Navas. Sure, like he's had a few games here and there, wasn't the best, and this is not to take a stab at Liverpool's keeper, but like it wasn't ever that bad.
Exactly.
And my heart out to that keeper. That was terrible. That sucked. To have that kind of moments. Really.
Well, I mean,
but
that's what makes people. I mean, that's what that's the difference between great players and average players.
Yeah.
And I think this keeper is even below average.
Well, I mean, it was a big game though. It was a really, really big game.
And that's the thing. You expect your keeper in these type of moments to step out the most. We've worked this hard. We came up here. This is where I shine. They're looking for a new goalkeeper. I have to prove myself this game that they don't need a new goalkeeper. That I'm their number 1.
Yeah.
Complete opposite.
Yeah.
The complete opposite. And now Liverpool's looking at new keepers.
I know. No, that was really tough. Yeah, that was really tough. But I mean, those are the games that it can be a make or break, and unfortunately, it was a break for him. But we'll see what happens with that, because that'll be interesting to see, Liverpool, going out there trying to find a few players like to kind of bolster their squad. I mean, given the fact they're running to the Champions League, making it to the final, like that's a big deal. So it's like
they just had 2 midfielders come in too. They've had 2 midfielders come in, and I believe they're looking at some defenders as well and a keeper.
Yeah.
So if those players all go in, he gets the right players, I think they can be serious again. They can be serious contenders next season as well.
Yeah.
For all the cups, not just the Champions League.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. That'd be good. But like, I mean, Manchester City will be looking to bolster their squad a little bit too. I mean, they did a really
all
good.
of Man U, Chelsea, they're all trying to spend. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, It's tough. Premier League is tough because all these teams want to win it every year, so they spend as much. It seems like that's their priority. In the Premier League, it's a lot of those teams. It's more important for them to win the league than the Champions League. It seems like.
I would think so, yeah.
And I mean, it's bragging rights because you do have a lot of more competition in it, you know, and it's a lot more serious than La Liga, in my opinion, or those other. Because La Liga teams all want the Champions League. That's if you failed if you haven't won the Champions League, you know. But if you win the Premier League, that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and if you keep your job,
yeah,
you don't get fired.
And well, yeah, like because like the thing is with, I mean, if you think about it, La Liga, the German league, French league, you know, those leagues, they usually always have like an Italian league. I mean, Juventus, this is their sixth season in a row. They win that
7th, I think. It might be seventh.
Yeah.
Mistaken, yeah.
So it's just like, you know, all these leagues, you know, it's pretty much guaranteed between 1 or 2 teams to win.
Exactly.
So it's just like in England, it's like there's like potentially 5 or 6.
At least, yeah.
You know,
exactly.
I mean, what, like, which season was
Leicester
it?
City.
Yeah, Leicester City. I came out of nowhere. It was like Man U, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Leicester. You know, it's just like,
and I mean, these big teams learn from that season, I think, and they're now spending money. They're doing everything they can.
They pulled apart. They pulled apart Leicester. They took some. Took some of their players.
It's funny because like all these new coaches were there, and like they're all trying to go at each other. These teams were battling it out. And like Leicester just kind of quietly came up, like behind them, like you know, while they're over there destroying each other, trying to take each other out.
Yeah.
Leicester just kind of walked up and was like, oh, "I'll take this."
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, hats off to them. That was fantastic.
No, yeah.
Well, anyways, yep, that's it for Real Madrid's news over there. The players are who's staying, who's leaving, that really are important and matter.
Yeah, pretty much.
But World Cup right around the corner. Not even in 2 weeks, actually.
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks exactly. World Cup will start. We'll do some live shows for that and giveaways, and we'll cover the games as well. We'll do a podcast to cover almost all the games that we can. And it's going to be fun to watch, you know. My prediction, I think Argentina will take it. I think Messi and his players will really step up because they know it's his final one, and it really means the world to Messi to win this World Cup. But Spain and Brazil are very dangerous, in my opinion. France is as well, but Spain and Brazil are very dangerous. So I'm looking forward to this World Cup.
Yeah.
It's going to be a crazy World Cup.
No, I think so too. I actually agree with you as far as like Argentina. That's actually, I mean, my team is Spain, but I'm actually rooting for Argentina just because of Messi.
Yeah.
Just because my desire is for when Messi and Ronaldo end their careers, I would like them to retire as equals. And I just kind of feel like the big debate will be Messi didn't win anything with his national team.
You're absolutely right.
That'll be the big debate. So I kind of want that not to be the the debate. So I would like to see Argentina pull it off.
I mean,
they have the team
like
to do
3
it.
finals, man.
Yeah.
You know, 3 finals, and they just can't pull the trigger in the final. That's what sucks.
Higuain has a hard time pulling a trigger.
Exactly. I'm surprised. Honestly,
Come
I'm surprised.
on, man.
Higuain's going and Icardi is not going with Argentina. I think Icardi has been in fantastic form for Inter Milan. He's the top goal scorer in Italy. He's young. He can play. He's a great player in the box. And I mean, he's just a fantastic player. But for some reason, he's not selected. So I don't know. I think they're going to end up regretting that because that's what they missed. They need that center striker. You know, they need that big striker that can finish, unlike Higuain. And I don't know. I'm surprised that he didn't go.
They took Higuain though.
I'm pretty sure they took Higuain.
They took Higuain.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
After Icardi's season. Wow.
It's ridiculous.
That's tough. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough selection too because it's like I think even Dybala is going, but he's going to be on the bench. I think. Yeah. So it's just like, you know, that just kind of shows at the same time they have a good squad and they have some good backup players like Dybala and those guys.
Very good squad. And that's why I think they're a real threat this summer. I mean, they could take it. In my opinion, I think Argentina will take it, but Brazil and Spain are very strong. We'll get a lot more of that when it all starts. We'll cover all the news that's going on in the World Cup and everything. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, before we head off, rumors and transfers. Where do you think? Oh, before we move off, Xhaka from Arsenal, he's got injured today in the friendly, so he might miss the World Cup now. So,
I think I read that they did a scan and
he might make it.
Yeah, he might make it.
Oh, that's good news then.
Yeah, they did the scan today, the preliminary scan, and they found out that it wasn't as serious as they thought it was.
Yeah, because they took him straight to the hospital.
Yeah. I mean, it was like the same thing with. Oh, did you hear about Salah? Like they said that he's only going to be out for 3 weeks, so he should be able to make it.
And the game against Uruguay.
Which is the
first game.
Oh, is it?
He might be fit for it. Yeah, he might be fit for it.
Okay, so let's hope so.
I don't know if they're gonna risk him though, because I mean, Uruguay is a tough team. You know, they're gonna be playing hard on Salah, and what if someone hits him the wrong way in the shoulder?
Yeah.
So do you risk him? What is it, like a dislocated shoulder?
It was
or
a dislocated
something?
shoulder.
So it's kind of that'll be tough, man. No.
What are
3 weeks, is that really enough to fully recover on that?
I mean, nowadays they have all sorts of like amazing like different therapies. I remember when Wayne Rooney 2 World Cups ago, he broke his metatarsal like on his foot.
Oh yeah, they used to give him shots or something.
It was, I don't know, it wasn't shots. It was some type of oxygen therapy where they gave him like some kind of specific oxygen mask, and like the stuff that they put in the oxygen, it quadrupled his immune system or something like that, and it allowed him to heal faster. Like he made it in 2 months or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
remember one big game that he was playing. They actually had to give him shots though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, for his foot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. That could happen.
Yeah, it's possible.
But anyways, who's going where? Griezmann's the big one. Is Griezmann going to Barcelona?
I know. What's his name wants him to go really bad. Who? Someone came out and said it like on Barcelona that they're trying to like kind of.
All of them have said they want him. All the players really have came out and said they want him as a great player.
There's a French player, isn't there? On
Umtiti.
Yeah.
Umtiti, absolutely.
Think,
and Dembele as well.
Yeah.
Dembele and Umtiti.
They're kind of pushing him a little bit, like, hey, come join us.
He should. I mean, he'll be a great fit there, and I think it'll put Dembele on the bench for a little bit. But it'll be perfect for Dembele to develop his game. They'll put him in some games. They'll rest Suarez, so guess who's going to be available to go, you know?
Yeah.
And one of the problems was that they weren't able to rest key players this season, you know?
Yeah.
And when they did rest them, Barcelona, they were screwed. Because there was no Messi. They were losing games. Messi had to come in and save the game multiple times, you know? And the one game that they didn't even take them, they lost the whole record.
Yeah.
So Griezmann will be a great fit for that. Dembele can sit, and when you're resting the players, you're resting Messi, bring in Dembele. You're resting Suarez, bring in Dembele.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they'll get enough playing time. They'll be fine with that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure next season you're going to slowly try to push Suarez out. So.
Yeah, because he's 30 or 31?
32.
31, okay, yeah. You know, and the thing about like those kind of guys, like the reason Ronaldo's been able to last like this long is just because he takes like extreme care of himself. So it's just like some of these guys like Suarez, like I don't think they're not they're not as serious about
they're more of just playing.
Yeah.
I mean, South Americans are really like that. You don't see them, you know, putting so much effort at the gyms and stuff like that. Ronaldo is a machine, man. He is. But anyways, yeah, Griezmann might happen. Costa expects him to stay, but who knows? Other big names I think that might be going. Dembele has been looked at by Arsenal and Liverpool. Apparently, Arsenal's people have been in contact with him regularly. But I don't think he's gonna go. I think why would he go? In the season, he'll get regular time again. You know, I mean, he has to earn it as well. You know, he's pretty inconsistent at the moment. He's at the injuries he deals with, so you know.
There was one more player, Pulisic. I think Pulisic, they were thinking about getting him for I think, was it Arsenal or
Liverpool?
Liverpool, yeah. That would be
I think
fantastic.
He might end up going to Bayern though.
Really?
I think so. I think Bayern will end up getting him.
Oh.
And I think he would love to play for Bayern. I mean, usually Dortmund players' favorite teams are to go to Bayern. So.
But, like, I mean, sometimes it doesn't work out. Like, for Lewandowski, it worked out. But for Götze, like, it didn't work out, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know. For Pulisic, like, who's still, like, he's 21 or 22.
He's very young.
Yeah, he's very young.
Yeah.
Bright
so future.
Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, I mean, he's getting more recognition at Dortmund and stuff. I think maybe he should stand his ground. I think he should stay there for like another season or two. Like,
I agree.
Get closer to like maybe towards his mid-20s.
I agree.
You know, and then make more of a name for himself, and then maybe get his national team, get with his national team, and get them back up there. And if he can do that, then he can make a bigger rep for himself, and maybe bigger teams will want him and stuff like that.
Absolutely, I agree.
So, yeah. I mean, Liverpool is a big team, but it's just maybe pay more. Stuff
absolutely.
Like that for them. Yeah.
All right, last two before we get off. Neymar to Real Madrid. We already covered this basically. It's not going to happen this season, no?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because one season, that's kind of a shame. Like that's kind of like a disrespect. I feel like you go there 1 year, I'm bored, and I want to go somewhere else. I want to go back to Spain. It's just like at least give them, be a little bit
very disrespectful.
Yeah.
Disrespectful.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Salah to Real Madrid. Could that happen?
I think I don't know if like Ronaldo the only person I can see potentially leaving at this point since Zidane left, I think it could either be because I think Ronaldo will do the swap deal. Yeah. Maybe Benzema. I think since Zidane left, I think Zidane was what was keep Benzema.
Oh, for sure. I think so too.
So with Zidane leaving, I think Benzema is going to be out. So he would be a good replacement for. Salah would be a good replacement, but Liverpool are on they want to build up to what they did this past season. And
what if they trade? Give Benzema and some cash for Salah?
I mean, I'm sure they'll be
it would be stupid for Liverpool to do it. But I mean, you never, if the player wants to go, look at Coutinho. Eventually you have to let him.
Sure. Yeah, but I think was this Salah's first season or second season with them? I think it was first.
It might have been his first season,
because I think I saw an interview recently. It was his first season.
Yeah.
And the lady it was on CNN, and like the lady was like, "Oh, did you have dreamed that this would be like your first season here like this?" And he was like, "No, like it's been great and stuff." And so that would be another disrespect, if like he decided to like leave after that, and especially with the fans taking such a liking to him and stuff.
Exactly.
And seeing how far they came in his first season,
and he might not do as well somewhere else,
Yeah. I mean, he went through the rank. I mean, he went through Roma, he went to Chelsea, he went to Fiorentina. So like now he finally got somewhere where he's like kind of thriving.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, why change something when
exactly, and he could definitely become Liverpool's highest player to keep him there. So why not?
Yeah.
All right, that's pretty much it in the football world and all the important stuff. Anything we missed?
I think we got it all.
We got it all. One more thing before we go. Icardi to Chelsea. That might actually happen. If Sarri goes, Icardi might be going there for about 80 to 89 million, if I'm not mistaken. So, and they're looking to get rid of Morata, so they might even do a little swap deal if they can. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But those are the big news in the football world. We're looking forward to the World Cup. We're going to have a bunch of shows and cool videos coming out for those. That's it for me.
That's it,
buddy. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I think that's it, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.